So today's video is a little bit different than normal. I've been set a challenge by Shadow, and the challenge is to get a device for £150 that can play all of the latest games in the top detail using their service. So this video is sponsored by Shadow and we'll get right into it. So not only am I going to find a device for £150, I thought it would also be quite fun if we try some devices I do have lying around. So we're going to try an Android TV box as well as an Amazon Fire Stick, and this is actually a first gen Fire Stick, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the application to run on that one. But the first thing we need to do here is purchase a tablet, so I'm just going to do that now. So first off, the reason I decided to choose a tablet was to show that sort of if it will work on a tablet, then we know it's also going to work on a laptop. And I think that's what they're aiming a lot of their market at, something like a laptop. But it should work on pretty much any device, and there's a huge amount of platforms supported. So I've actually narrowed my search down to two tablets. I've got the Samsung Galaxy Tab A 7-inch as well as the Acer Arconia 10-inch tablet, but it's already decided for me because the Galaxy Tab A is actually out of stock, so I can't get it. But the Acer Arconia is actually in stock in a shop very close to me, so we'll just go and pick that up now. What we're going to do now is I'm going to set it up on the computer first. You don't need the computer to set it up, but it's just going to be easier for me. So I'll load some games onto there and then we'll give it a try. And while I'm doing this, I'll just go through some information and what this service actually is. But the tablet I picked up was the Acer Arconia. Looking at the specs, Android 8.1. It's got the MT8167 CPU, 16 gigs internal memory, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it's a 10.1 inch IPS display. Bluetooth capability, so I'm pretty sure I can use an Xbox One controller for this. If not, then we're going to be in trouble, but I'll just get it all set up now. So the Shadow system is a cloud-based computer of your own, but unlike other cloud-based solutions, it offers a high-performance computer at your fingertips with dedicated resources. The aim is to allow users to play the latest games or perform high-demanding tasks on any device, meaning that you can essentially give a cheap laptop or tablet the performance of a high-end gaming computer. So the great thing about this service is it is your own computer. You install the games or applications you want, and it's just the same as having your own computer at home, it's just physically somewhere else. The service can be used on Windows, Mac, Android, iOS and Linux, and you get a powerful computer with an Intel Xeon 2667 at 3.2 GHz a core with a turbo of 3.6. You also get an Nvidia GTX 1080 GPU with 12 gigs of DDR4 RAM and 256 gigs storage, and you get a 1 gigabit per second download along with a 100 megabit per second upload fiber connection. Now in terms of requirements, all you need is a reasonable internet connection yourself. The application can be set to auto to decide the bandwidth, or you can manually select between 5 and 50, although it is recommended that a 15 megabit per second connection is the minimum. So I started up the tablet, and the first thing I noticed was the tablet itself isn't great. It's a low spec tablet, and even navigating the Android menu seems a little bit sluggish thanks to its low powered CPU and only 2 gigabytes of RAM. Setting up the Shadow app couldn't have been any simpler though. You simply head to the Play Store, download the app and sign in. The first time you load Shadow, it's as if you turned on a new computer. It runs you through the Windows setup wizard to customize to your needs. You're then free to install whatever applications or games you wish. It's aimed at the gamers, so I decided to install some games such as Fortnite, Battlefield, PUBG and Forza 7, and of course I set all graphic details to maximum. As expected, they played flawlessly. On the tablet, there were little bits of stuttering on occasions, but this was down to the tablet not performing rather than any problems with Shadow. This was confirmed by playing on my mobile, where it did play flawlessly. Now when it comes to cloud gaming, the biggest worry for people is latency. You're essentially sending commands to a computer based somewhere else, so there is going to be a delay. On the whole, I was very impressed with the low latency gaming. When using the tablet, I was using a Bluetooth controller, which introduces more latency on top of what we already have, and my tablet just didn't seem to perform well in general here. I made a poor choice with this tablet, and when using the same controller on a mobile phone, the latency was reduced. Even with the tablet's poor performance though, I played a variety of games. They played well and they were more than enjoyable. even with a bit of input lag, they were still great, although it probably wouldn't be suitable for competitive gaming. So I decided to move on to the Android box along with a wireless mouse and keyboard. This is another low powered device, but it actually performed very well. The device isn't really designed for mouse and keyboard gaming, but I was still able to have an enjoyable experience using this method, and I left the mouse cursor on screen so that you can see the latency for yourself. Keep in mind the sensitivity is different in game to the mouse, so it will move at a different speed, but you can see the short time it takes to respond to the movement. I then moved over to my desktop, as this service is mainly aimed at people who want to turn their low powered PCs or laptops into high-end gaming PCs, and this is really where it performed the best. When in desktop mode, it was literally as if I was sat here using my own computer. Response times were impressive and actually better than I expected. When playing games, it was excellent and I could happily sit here and play and even do quite well. One thing worth noting though is while it is great, it's probably still not suitable for the very competitive FPSs where every millisecond does count, like something like CSGO, but your normal shooters, PUBG, Fortnite, Overwatch, all of that is perfectly playable. And another great feature I like, if you're using Shadow on the PC for instance, and then you connect on your tablet, it just moves straight over to the tablet. The game's still open and playing, so you can continue exactly where you left off. I decided to test the network connection using speedtest.net. Here I got a download speed of 778 and an upload of 106. It's worth noting this was performed at peak times though, so I would expect this to be around the lowest it would go, and still incredible speeds. Now, as I said at the start of the video, I would try this on the Fire Stick. I was pretty much not expecting it to work anyway, but the application wouldn't even open in Fire OS, and the reason for that is Fire OS is a very locked down, restricted version of Android, so I didn't really expect it to perform well even if it did work, but at least that's out there for anyone that was considering it. So overall, I'm impressed with the service. It really offers a great solution for those who can't afford to buy an expensive gaming computer, or maybe it's just an in-between stage. I also think it's got other uses, maybe a video editor who travels around a lot with a cheap laptop, they could use this to edit videos when not at home. But from my experience, I much preferred gaming in the Windows application over Android, but I think it's great the option is there to access the service from most devices. I did find things like racing games a bit more suitable on Android, but I think that was more to my personal preference of using a keyboard and mouse on shooters. But for anyone that would like to give it a go or simply get some information, I've placed links down in the description below. The standard cost is £27 or $35 a month, but they've given me a discount code that drops it to $16.95 for UK or $25 for USA, and that discount code is also down in the description. And this is just for the first month, but of course it is commitment free. If you don't like it, you are free to cancel at any time. But as always, if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thank you for watching the video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel.